Right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Tricks of the Trade with me, DM Tauzy. DM Tauzy presents with my buddy GM Hebert. What up, GM?
Hey, what's up?
Today we're talking about a number of things. I wanted to talk about like a video that I saw. I can't remember what's the group that did it, but they were talking about basically GM power and GM roles behind the screen that got brought up. So I want to talk about that. We're also going to talk about
And I'm ready for that because I'm the player that likes it when the GM rolls my skills behind the screen.
Oh, you like it? That's
I
good.
think investigation, perception, all of that. I think the GM should roll that.
That's cool. I like that. I mean, I know what you're talking about. We can talk about investigation perception should be like its own topic one day, but we can talk.
Yeah.
Definitely talk about that. What else? What else? Oh yeah. One second.
You're gonna walk us through, or we're gonna learn about Crooked Moon.
Yes, we're talking about Crooked Moon. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Crooked Moon is a folk horror game that has been introduced. That is part of my now lexicon, part of my library in D&D Beyond. I don't know too much about it. Like I intentionally said like I'm not going to read too much. I want both Neil and I to discover this together.
Yeah, I downloaded it on the phone when I realized you had it, and we share books. So I downloaded it, but I haven't looked. I think I opened it and looked at the table of contents. That was the extent of what I did.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun reading this. But before we get there, a couple announcements. I will be at WonderCon in Anaheim, California, same place where there's Disneyland, not Disney World, but Disneyland. I will be there this coming Friday at 6 p.m. PT. Talking with GM Spencer. We're going to have a panel about like the panel's called, I forget the actual title, but it's basically like what is D&D? Like what is this game? Like talking to new people who have probably seen Stranger Things or seen a little bit of Critical, and they still don't know what it is, so they're coming to ask questions.
So you got a con Friday. I'm at a con Saturday. I'm playing in Kobold Con in the I kickstarted their new horror supplement, and it's one of the adventures from the horror thing they're writing. So yeah, horror is all over the place in D&D right now.
It really is. Yeah, it's kind of everywhere.
And I'm excited because the thing I kickstarted is like horror adventures, but it's also Tales of the Valiant / 5e optional rules for supporting horror play.
Nice.
And like I quite like the Kobold books. Either Tales of the Valiant or otherwise. I think they're very good.
Rock on. As usual, please, if you like our content here, we're doing content almost every Sunday night.
But we're taking some time off soon because I know Trey's going to be unavailable for a couple weeks, and I'm going to be unavailable so for people that don't know, I'm a pro wrestling researcher. So when it comes time for pay-per-views, I typically have to watch them.
Right.
Which is like kind of goofy, but yeah.
I'll be leaving for a good bit in April, right? May. Yeah, I'll be leaving for a little bit in May because I have to go live in London for 8 or 9 days. But
what's going on?
Because I'm getting married. Bonnie and I are getting married in London. But in order to do that, you have to basically give notice to the borough where you're going to get married and go live there for 8 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I have to go do that. I have to go to London and live there, which is going to be fun.
Well, you bring a computer, and it's going to be summer at that point, right? We can stream in the middle of the day.
Absolutely. We absolutely can. I mean, it's very different for me because my games will be at midnight. So I'll be playing till 3 a.m. But hey, whatever. D&D's for everybody. D&D's for all times. Maybe that's a good time for me to like do one-shots in the UK. Yeah. It's a great idea.
Actually, you should. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I'd be like, hey, I'm actually here right now. Let's go to a castle. Let's play some D&D.
I have not been able to play, even though my play ended. I have not been able to get a game going. I think the game I'm a player in, we tried, and just no one is free. And I tried to run one of my games, and everyone's like, "Yeah, no, not right now."
Man, sometimes it happens. I know. I get it. I just played in a game and had so much fun. Everybody was clicking and using all their abilities and supporting each other, and you were almost dying, but then Beacon of Hope saved us, and I hit a big cure, and it was a lot of fun playing that last Friday night. So much fun. But yeah, so that's happening. I'll be gone, but that'll be in 2 months, 6 weeks rather. But Well, first off, let's talk about roles behind the screen. Okay, I saw this.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw this. First off, I saw this video where DM was talking about. He's basically talking about the pressure and the anxiety behind having too much power as a DM, because he likened being a dungeon master to, like, say you're playing rock paper scissors with someone, and,
Mhm.
and the player picks a rock, and then as a DM, you now see that rock, and you get to decide what to play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play a rock, then the game keeps going. If you play paper, you kill the player, and if you play scissors, you let the player win.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's saying, like, there's an intrinsic problem with having too much power when you can throw the game, or you can just crush the players. Like, he's saying the intrinsic problem behind having too much power as a DM. I would call it that.
Mm-hmm.
And my thoughts on that is if you have too much power as a DM, give it away.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a couple ways to do that. My biggest advice is roll in front of the players.
Oh, I do that too. Yeah. So I don't. Mm-hmm.
For attack rolls and saving throws, for the things that they would want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Roll in front of them. That way, and you obviously you can roll behind a screen, but like once you've gone the way of rolling in front of your players, you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back to rolling on the screen,
because the players like that it's random.
Yeah, they like the even if it's
earned. Whatever happens is earned because they saw it happen.
Yes. Also, I would say use the bloodied condition.
Yeah.
Because what happens with the bloodied condition is, say a creature has 300 hit points. Players don't know it has 300 hit points. But once you get down to 150 and you say they're bloodied. That means, as a DM, I'm giving away information, I'm giving away power. I'm saying you have dealt half this creature's hit points.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can remember how much damage you dealt to it, you have that much to go again. Right? So you're giving away power. So that's one way to deal with that. But there's other ways, like you just give the players agency in different things that normally a DM would have. Let them roll on environmental tables, let them roll on exploration tables, or even let them roll the dice.
Random tables, I think, is really good. Another thing you can do that I try to do is I played a lot of Apocalypse World style games where there are GM rules that you have to follow and principles and things. And one of the things that the Apocalypse World games say is that you as a GM have to be a fan of the players' characters. So you're not an adversary. You're setting up a world because you're both playing to find out what happens next. Like, you create a conflict, and then you as a group find out how those characters will respond to that conflict. And when you approach it like that, where you're playing to find out what happens, so that there's slightly less prep, you're not controlling the outcome, and you're wanting to see how these characters respond, the game changes a lot, and it changes in really cool ways. So it's like, because I mean, I'm a horrible player to have, because like I want what I want, and what I want is for someone to GM my characters the way I GM, which is that when I GM, I don't write a story. I allow the characters to tell their stories.
Right on.
And for me, like, that's what I want. Like, because I'm going to do all the work as a player that I wish a player would do for me as a GM. Like, I'm going to have a backstory. I'm going to give you a list of things to do to me. Rolling rolling in front of the screen, it feels so good. Because like, when I see that you really critted on me, I know we're not just making stuff up, right?
Yeah,
like,
there's mechanics.
The dice matter, so that means every roll I do matters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say, like, to that analogy, if we're sticking with the rock paper scissors, you see the player play rock, and then you as a DM say, "Well, I'm going to roll this 3-sided dice, or this D6, and 1 and 2 mean rock, 3 and 4 mean paper." Like, you make it random. And you give up the power and respect mechanics, and then it becomes a lot less selfish as a DM endeavor, I would say.
And those random tables that we talk about, those are really cool. Like I'll buy books of random tables because if I don't know what's going to happen next and I'm rolling on a random table, like that's really cool for me because I get to play. Like as a player, because GMs are players too, right? Like we get to find out stuff. And random tables are an excuse for me to like allow randomness to force me to react to it, right? Like I didn't know it was going to be like a hill or it was going to be a whatever environmental feature is coming up next.
Right.
So it allows me to stretch my improv and like respond just the way the players do with their, they're reacting to stuff too.
Right on. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my solve for that. Like, yeah, give it up. Give up that power. You don't need it.
But I do want to say I love when the GM rolls behind the screen for things like investigation, perception,
Yeah.
things where my character should not know how thoroughly I perceived. Right. Like
yeah. There's an intrinsic problem with characters rolling exploration dice.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens every time it's rolled. And the solve is a little bit more difficult here. If I were redesigning a D&D edition from the ground up, a big move of mine, and I know it's an unpopular decision, but I would get rid of perception and investigation. I hate those skills. I hate them. Here's why. It's uninteresting to fail a perception or investigation roll.
Yeah.
It is interesting to succeed in one.
Mm-hmm.
If you have content that you've created to be explored, if you have exploration content in your game, and you soft wall it behind a perception or investigation, really it's a hard wall. If you hard wall it behind perception and investigation, and there's a failure there, that is not explored. You have something you created that then is seemingly impossible to be explored. So that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
We've all been there in video games where you fail to perceive a secret door. There's a secret door there.
You can't go through it. Yeah.
You can't fucking go there.
But I do like perception and stuff like that when I'm trying to like if it's the difference between getting ambushed.
No doubt. Yeah. So
like that's the kind I like where
if I were to redesign a D&D edition, then I would put that in under survival or I would put that in another skill, like noticing ambushes would be under survival. So having a notice skill, immediate notice, is important. Yes, I would agree. There's a reason why so many parts of our body are not very well evolved, but our eyes really are.
Yeah.
Like it is really important. It's also too important in D&D. For a lot of the modules, 95% of the DCs in there are perception investigation rolls.
Yeah.
And I disagree with that foundational mechanic of like, what if we hide everything behind, do you find it or not? I don't think that's interesting. I think it's more interesting if you find the trap, and then what do you do about it?
Yeah.
Like, this is a complex trap. You cannot disable this trap. What do you want to do about it?
Where traps are puzzles for players to solve.
Yeah. So if you find a puzzle,
that's really cool. Yeah.
So like rolling behind the screen, what that solves is the problem with perception is if you're an active player and you say like, I've searched for traps, and the DM says, okay, roll your perception or investigation to find this trap. You roll a 2. Well, as a player you failed. DM knows you failed. And so now we have to play the stupid game where you have to meta role play that you don't know that you didn't find a trap, or you think there are no traps, and then you have this weird thing where people speak people speak with this overconfidence that doesn't exist in human beings, where they go, "There are no traps ever. There are no traps in this room. There's no such thing as traps. I would have found them." And it doesn't make any goddamn sense because nobody talks that way. But then players do because their brains are like, I know I rolled low, but I still have to role play. It's fucked. The whole thing is screwed.
That's why when the DM rolls it and you're like, wait, I don't find any traps, I want to look again. Like, that's believable.
No doubt.
But it's like that.
No doubt. Yeah, it's better. It's better. I would say it is better when they roll. But the problem with DMs rolling behind a screen is I don't trust them.
Yeah, I trust
Just
myself. But
I mean,
not.
I would trust. Yes, I would trust like my good friends. But even then, I'm like, I don't know what you rolled, man. You might as well just be hearing the dice roll and not looking at them. Like it doesn't, because no one could see it but you.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's a real weird thing. Like I was playing at one of the cons with a bunch of friends of mine, and Roberto, who I was playing with him, like he's one of my players, and he was like, we were playing with another GM, and he was rolling all these dice to hit us, and he was like, "Oh, nat 20," and Roberto was like, giving me side glance, like, "Really? Is that really a nat 20? We don't fucking see it, man."
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen. That's just going to happen when you roll behind the screen. But with perception investigation, I understand it, because like the problem, there's a huge meta problem there. If you roll a 19, and your bonus is whatever, plus 10 to perceive, you get a 29. And then the DM says, you don't find any traps. Well, now you know for certain that there really probably aren't any traps. But why would you know that? Why would you know that?
One thing you can do to really mess with your players is anytime they roll a perception check, you just respond, you do not find the trap.
No doubt. No, absolutely.
What do you mean, the trap? You don't find the trap.
What I've done, what I've basically done is I've incorporated the Take 20 rules. If you don't know what Take 20 is, Take 20 is a 3rd edition mechanic that basically states, it's called Take 20 because you literally take 20 times the amount of time. It doesn't refer to the dice, but essentially it also does. You take 20 times the amount of time to do the activity. And it is as if you were rolling a 1, a 2, a 3, way up to 20 until you succeed.
Yeah.
So that's called taking 20. It takes 20 times the amount of time that you are going to succeed if there is a thing to succeed at.
Yeah.
Right. And as long as you aren't hampered by, as long as there's no time constraints, you will succeed in the activity. And that's been a rule in the game in every edition. Every edition has a retry mechanic. The retry mechanic typically applies to perception investigation rules, but it also applies to a couple other skills as well. Anything where you can retry, the game lets you retry. So
I'm not a huge fan of retrying, is the thing, because like the problem with retry, I feel like if you attempt to pick a lock and you fail, you should not be able to succeed at that until you materially change the circumstances. You get better picks, or you gain a level, gain experience, things like that. I know that's a rule in some indie RPGs. When you roll, the roll matters, and you don't get a redo.
What I do and it doesn't apply to everything. It's not a retry for every skill. Some skills doesn't pertain. For example, knowledge skills. If you roll to know who this god is and you fail, you don't retry that. You either know it or you don't. Right. So that makes sense for knowledge skills. For a disarm trap or for a pick lock, what you could do, and sometimes I do this, is there's a set DC to do it, to roll for it. If you fail by 5 or more, you jam the lock. So if you say it's DC 20, you roll an 18, I'll say, you fail, you can try again, but you almost jam the lock. So now there's pressure. There's a little bit of drama in there. Like, oh shit, someone cast guidance on me. I don't want to screw this up. So now there's a bit more drama involved. So that's an option for a retry mechanic that also brings drama. Another thing with retry mechanics is that they do take time.
Yeah.
So if you are, searching a room and it's a very large room, you can say, okay, you want to search the whole room for traps and secret doors and everything, fine. That'll take you, this particular room is big. It'll take you half an hour to do so. And they do so. And then you could roll for bad things happening to them that involve time to get your players to move it along.
Yeah.
Which is, that's fair. That's also a fair thing you can do.
I mean, we can also talk about like failing forward when it comes to locks. Like no matter what, you're going to open the door because the game doesn't happen if you don't open the door. But if you fail the roll, the people behind the door ambush you once you open. Or you get, when you start the encounter in the next room, guards coming from behind catch up with you. Something like that.
Yeah. Or you pick it, but you stab yourself in the process, or you jam your hand and now your hand's all screwed up. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, lots of things you could do. Yeah, but D&D has always had a retry mechanic for when you have enough time to succeed at this.
Yeah.
But again, like my issue is I don't even bring it up anymore. I don't even say, "Do you take 20?" If someone's like, "I search for traps," I'm like, "Cool, I'm going to tell you there's a trap there because you said the thing." Here's the thing: people think like, "Well, that's too easy. Then you're just going to find everything." No, they don't.
Yeah.
Man, is it tough to get some groups, some players to just say, "I search for a thing."
Yeah.
Some players they just grab their dicks and they run inside a dungeon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're going to face the consequences if you don't tell me I'm looking for something.
Yeah.
But I think that should be rewarded too. Like if you say like, oh, I'm looking for a secret door, I don't want to put that behind a wall of did you roll high enough? You're searching for a thing that I put in there. I don't want you to find it. There's more interesting things on a secret. Maybe there's something terrible behind it.
I mean, to me,
what's up?
To me, it's like triggering the trap is a reward.
Yeah.
For me, I like to just do stuff. I don't like to plan. I like to play.
Yeah.
I'm an instigator. I'm gonna charge. I'm gonna kick the door down. I'm gonna
do it. Yeah.
That's because that's what's fun. Because I'm not like that in real life. In real life, I'm very cautious. So I'm an academic.
That's very cool, Neil. They made a fighter subclass called the adventurer, and basically it's a meta class. You get inspiration for doing shit like that. Kicking down the door.
That's how I like to play. I mean,
yeah.
You know, it's fun.
Yeah. One of my players does that, and he's like, "Well, this is perfect for me. I want to play this." And I was like, "Okay, cool, play that. Yeah, it's great."
You know, like that's just the way I am. I like to instigate. I like stuff to happen. I don't know. I like to play my character the way you drive a stolen car in GTA, right?
Yes.
Like that's the fun part.
But that's my big spiel on it. Like, I have a lot of thoughts on the exploration column these days. I'm like, man, I just want this to be completely open and transparent because your players are blind and deaf to your world until you give them information. Why would you further obfuscate things? It's just being mean.
I almost want the exploration rules to be like hex crawl rules, basically, like West Marches style rules, like in where you were literally exploring an unknown world. Like that's kind of what I want more so than, you know, but that doesn't work for every game. Like some people want to play in Forgotten Realms, they want to be in Chult, they want to do this, and they want.
Here's the thing, though, you could do it for Forgotten Realms, Neil. You could do it. There's a line in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. I can't remember what page it is. I got to go look it up. It's one of my favorite lines in the book. But it basically says the world, people woke up one day and the world of Faerun had changed. The lands grew darker, some greener, and the lands themselves split open, and towns that were a couple miles away from each other became distant countries away from each other.
That's cool.
They're literally giving you permission to say, like, put your own lands in here.
Awesome.
Like that's a wild statement to say, like, there's now more continents in between these places. Like you can just stretch it out because so much of Faerun is codified, right? So much of it is. So why not put in your whole? That's what I do. I put Mossdale and Sirocco. These are the Valley of Ill Omen and Mossdale are new places. They're attached to the places in Faerun. Valley of Omen is in the Sword, which is the Anarok Desert by the Desert's Mouth Mountains, and then Mossdale is just right under Daggerdale, which is by Shadow. But it's new places. I just made new places.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's my spiel. I also find like the exploration column, if we have social and combat are always like button heads, and the exploration column is like the nice gentle grandmother who like pushes them aside and be like, okay, stop fighting, children. We have worlds to explore. Like
we do.
Yeah. Speaking of worlds to explore, let's go into a dreadful folk tale. Druskenwald. Very cool. So Drusk, that's got to be like. There's an area in WoW called Drusk, and it's very much the same thing. It's very folk horror inspired. So that must be like a Germanic or Slavic word for something. I gotta look into that. Okay, so we have
it's Germanic, Druskenwald. Yeah.
A dreadful folk tale. We got a really evil moon looking here. Love it.
Almost a crooked moon.
Somewhere, lost in the shrouded realms of death, lies a land of endless night where long-forgotten horrors are revealed to those who travel through the mist. There, in a crooked house, lives a crooked man with a crooked grin. He raises crooked arms to a crooked tree at the edge of midnight and hears the whispers of the old ones. Okay, we have old ones. Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
They speak of a beast that stalks the darkest woods and darkest hearts, a crown of horns upon its head. If you lose your way and feel a warm breath that chills you to the bone, run.
Sounds like Grim Hollow.
It does. It really does. Follow the songs of harvest time. Before long, you'll find revelry in the dancing shadows of blazing wicker. No matter your story, these lonesome, misty rails will deliver to you where the hallowed cannot save you. Now is the time to brave the dark wood. Beware the witching hour and weave your own dreadful folktale underneath the crooked moon.
It's pretty cool.
Very cool. Always good. I do this, by the way. The end is in the beginning. Always end your initial, splat paragraph with the title of the book.
Yeah. Okay.
You're about to embark upon a journey into the unknown, where uncanny folk with strange superstitions revere the old ways, and creatures of folklore lurk on the isolated fringes of civilization. Crooked Moon is a tome intended to equip you with all the tools you need to bring folk horror to 5e and turn a game into a terrifying tale among friends.
And I do like folk horror.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, the thing we're writing is folk horror.
Yeah.
The first part of the campaign is, at least.
Yes.
Oh, a helpful definition for people who don't know what folk horror is.
Despite being so deeply rooted in tradition and old superstition, the term folk horror is a surprisingly new articulation to describe a nebulously defined genre with a wide variety of media under its umbrella. Crooked Moon looks to the work of writer and filmmaker Adam Scoville to help define folk horror and guide its influence throughout the book. A work of folk horror might be the one that utilizes folklore to instill a sense of uncanny dread, such as the 2015 film The Witch. Very good film.
Great movie.
Very good film.
I would show it when I taught high school. I'd get permission from their parents. I've seen that movie like 30 times, and every time I watch it, I learn something new.
It has my very absolute most favorite depiction of the devil. It's just
wonderful.
It's just incredible.
Wonderful. It's so good.
He's so charming.
The taste of water.
When he puts his hand over her hand, it's like, and guiding her right.
I will guide thy hand.
Jesus. What's that?
I showed it in one of my theater classes. I got permission from the parents, and my student Germani, who's one of my favorite students of all time. I didn't time the movie perfectly, so at the very moment when they think the devil's gonna speak, all of a sudden the bell goes off like to end the day, and Germani screamed and took off running. It was in a dark, like I turned the theater because I was in a room with no windows. We turned all the lights off and just the movie was on. And yeah, when the thing went off, I had kids just run.
Yeah, that's great.
It was pretty awful. It was pretty awesome.
Presents a clash between the archaic and the modern, such as the 1973 film The Wicker Man. I haven't seen The Wicker Man.
I've seen the remake with Nicolas Cage where he kicks a bunch of women in the stomach. That's
honestly what I would put instead of The Wicker Man. I should see The Wicker Man, but what I would put instead of The Wicker Man is the one with Sean Bean, who it's like the plague one where he has the reveal. He goes to
yeah. I've seen that one.
Yeah, the reveals that he has the plague the whole time.
And if you haven't seen The Ritual on Netflix,
God, it's so good, Neil.
It's really good, and the book is
really
great
good.
Too. Like,
it's not. It's just a good movie. It's just an incredible movie. Like
just great British actors.
It's great British actors. It's a great piece on guilt. On God, it's good.
Cool. It's a hell of a movie.
With a really terrifying monster.
Ugh. And it's actually scary. Yeah, that monster's actually scary.
Monster's terrifying. Or creates its own folklore by weaving various elements of culture's collective consciousness, such as the 2014 series Over the Garden Wall. I've not seen that. However, Scoville's framework of the folk horror chain unifies its archetypes into more of a broad but consistent definition. Folk horror chain. Okay.
Here we go.
Now we're dealing with some themes. Okay.
I'm looking up Over the Garden Wall. I'm going to add it to my watch list.
Let's see. The first link Here, okay, links and chain. Okay, first link is a prominence of the landscape or environment, often becoming a living, breathing character of its own. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Most often take place in rural locations and commonly focus on nature or agriculture.
Yeah.
Yes. Landscapes isolate the characters and communities within them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. People's remote environments are cut off from the prevailing society and standard trappings of civilization. Whether a group of several characters or small community, the folk of these stories find themselves separated from society physically, and most importantly, outside of the dominant ideologies and beliefs. Main action of many folk horror stories is initiated by outsiders, often representing modernity or urbanity,
yeah.
Interloping into these communities.
So it's for people that have done like Renaissance literature. It's kind of like the pastoral, but with the fear going on, because the pastoral is always it's a set of, so pastoral plays were a whole thing, and they were all about people from the city going to the country. But because people from this, I'm sorry, I have a cat that's going, so I know that was really weird. So because it's the pastoral is about people from the city going to the country for a vacation, the country's always under threat because people from the city are now there. So the country's always at risk of being destroyed. The pastoral is always at risk of the death of the pastoral. So yeah.
Interesting. Skewed morality. In these stories, isolated communities and groups develop skewed belief systems, often manifesting adherence to ancient superstitions, the practice of the occult, or hostile rejection of the morals of society at large. Strange and warped morality inevitably leads to a horrific action. And the final link in the chain, the happening.
The happening.
Generally, at the climax of these stories, the skewed morality of the isolated groups living in remote landscapes manifests of a supernatural or violent happening, the reawakening of the beast.
Yeah.
This dreadful event might take the form of summoning an otherworldly entity. This is the ritual. This is the ritual. The ritual, by the way, is Scandinavian folk horror.
Yeah, the forest they're in is really scary looking.
Really terrifying.
Yeah.
With an invisible monster, which is fucked.
Yeah.
It's invisible. It's invisible for 90% of the time. It's invisible.
Yeah, I want to say the guy who wrote The Ritual, Adam Neville, is sort of like the UK's Stephen King. Just he's prolific as hell with his horror novels.
That's good.
I know Last Days is the newest one by him that people are raving about. It's folk horror as well.
I love the end of The Ritual. It's one of the best endings.
Really freaky.
When he goes back into the convenience store in his memory. It's so good. It's so well shot.
Really quite good. Very, very beautifully shot.
Very beautifully shot. Yeah. It's an incredible actor. He's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, the chain in practice. When defined this way, folk horror is a broad but thematically consistent game genre that can include works from any narrative medium, time period, or global culture. Chain encompasses archetypal folk horror stories such as the 2019 film Midsommar, as well as
love that movie.
Unexpected examples like 1974, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even genre-building works like 2000's film Hot Fuzz. While the curriculum lays heavily upon the aesthetics, tropes, archetypes, and plot threads found in quintessential examples of folk horror, this book also draws inspiration from the wide umbrella of folks encompassed by the folk horror chain, as well as elements of other horror subgenres such as gothic horror, body horror, cosmic horror, and more.
Yeah.
You're encouraged to weave your own inspirations into your campaigns and characters to achieve a cooperative horror story best suited for your table. Okay, so let's get into. This is fun, but let's get into some of the real specifics here.
How's this? I liked the creating compelling characters. What do they?
Let's do it.
What do they do?
Okay,
what do they say are compelling characters?
The quality of a folk horror story is inexorably linked to the folk who feature in it. A story driven by compelling, multidimensional, and thematic characters can elevate a fun game of role-playing into a deeply moving experience you and your friends will remember the rest of your lives. Adventure campaign, including this book, provides a large cast of memorable NPCs, but the most important characters in the story are the protagonists, played by the players. Allows guidance to create and role-play unforgettable player characters. The character creation process should be a collaborative experience between the players and GM. They're working together, bouncing ideas back and forth, and iterating on initial concepts. The player characters immersed in the process will be compelling and well-balanced, both thematically and mechanically, and the GM will be well-equipped to incorporate character-specific elements into the adventure. Prioritize theme. Key to an exceptional character is a foundation based on theme first and foremost. Instead of starting with the mechanics of the character sheet, consider what theme you want to exhibit in a folk horror story, both aesthetically and narratively. Don't be afraid to leverage classic archetypes and tropes in fiction and borrow heavily from your favorite characters from various media. This will equip you with plenty of inspiration and ammunition to play a thematically rich and consistent character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all sensible so far.
Mm-hmm. Creating a compelling backstory for your character is useful, but far more important is knowing who they are. Remember that your character is a real person, an imaginary world, not just a collection of statistics, traits, and abilities. If you strive to understand who they are, they will be better equipped to roleplay a wholly realized and multifaceted character, and will know how they would react to any scenario. To help discover who your character is, answer the following questions. These are great. Questions are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What are your character's defining personality traits? Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are 5e traits.
Yeah.
What ideals? Those are
really good to know. Yeah.
Those are ideals in 5e. 5e has ideals. What are your character's flaws? They're just reiterating what you should do in 5e. Flaws.
Mm-hmm.
What is your fear and desire most? And your desires. Excellent. What archetype best applies to your character? I mean,
if that's helpful, that's helpful. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't said enough, though. Like 5e does a masterclass of 101 acting. It is your traits, bonds, ideals, and flaws. Those 4 things. And the fact that I don't impress it upon my players, I don't impress ideals, traits, bonds, and flaws because not everybody's into it.
Yeah.
But it's there if you need it. It's like a book on the shelf. It's like, here, this is here for you. I'm glad they're hitting it again because it's really good. It's like it's a 101 class that you don't have to take. How has your character's past shaped them?
Excellent question.
Yes. How would you describe your character without mentioning what they do, what they have, or what they look like? That's
good. That's good.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are there any aspects of your character that are superfluous to the answers above, or thematically unfitting for a full core adventure?
I remember how do you describe your character without mentioning what they do, what they have, or what they look like? I was playing a game of Apocalypse World, and I was a brainer, which is the person who can read minds, and his name was John the Weeper. And Billy, my friend, who was the GM, asked me, like, tell me about John the Weeper. I'm like, imagine a maggot wearing a priest's frock. He was like, oh. And that was all I kind of knew about John the Weeper, except he had lots of children and wives, not all of whom were women. And that was one of my most memorable characters. But that was because just the inspiration struck me with a maggot in a priest's frock. I was like, oh, pale skin, hairless. Like, oh, this guy sounds horrible.
Yeah. I mean, I would take this. I understand why they're doing this question. My problem is I would make it more positive. Because when I read this question, I'm like, I kind of know what you're going for, but that's going to put me in a spin where I'm like, no, I'm giving the wrong information, as opposed to maybe say like, what's your character's vibe? Mm-hmm. What is their what's their MO?
A thing I've done is I've asked someone to like give me the montage of the TV show that introduces their character.
That's really cool. That's really dope.
It's like talk about the camera, talk about their costume, talk about like just how would this TV series introduce this character?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, we have a cat coming in. Sorry, more cats.
Occasionally you'll hear screaming on my computer of the cats attacking each other. I don't know if it's happened several times tonight. Maybe it hasn't come through. In the other room, I hear caterwauling.
Trey, are you there? Do you see a close-up of his image? No,
that's really cool.
It's really dope. This is really dope. Okay. I mean, you got the crooked moon right there, which is just a creepy laughing moon with a hook nose.
Yeah.
You got scarecrows. It definitely feels very pastoral.
Yeah.
Very, very autumnal, but in the worst way.
That's a really good thing. Like if we're talking about the feeling of the world, autumnal's a really great like set of things. I always have trouble remembering to describe sensory data to my players.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not a visual person. So I like to write little notes. But yeah, like if you're running this, it should feel like November at all times.
Yeah. There's ways to do that. Obviously, putting some pumpkins in there, making it
chill in the air.
It's chilly air. It's wet. There's a wetness to it, but there's a curve to everything. Like it's a crooked moon, obviously, so everything's got kind of a bent to it. I love that there's a train. Like like it's
That
it's
train is.
inviting.
I'm very curious about that train.
Yeah, me too, because it's spewing souls of the dead.
Yeah, kind of Final Fantasy VI
It
ish.
is very. It's I kind of want to suplex that train, man.
You got to suplex the
You
train.
got to suplex a train.
I like that everyone who played Final Fantasy VI was like, I'm going to try to suplex the train. Obviously, it won't work. It's a train. Then, oh my God, I can suplex the train.
And then you realize that, oh, you should probably just use Aura Storm or Aura Blast.
Or because it's weak to hold.
Yeah, it's an undead thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still fun to suplex it.
It is fun to suplex it.
And then we have a church with a graveyard. Oh, lots of graveyards. Different with graveyards. Death is a theme, obviously. Isolation. Yeah.
You got a Bloodborne hunter behind that fire, it looks like. Looks like one of the Bloodborne hunters.
Oh, yeah, that's a dude. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen, Neil, the trailer for Divinity Originals, for Divinity? The new Divinity game?
I have not. I've watched part of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing. I know it's like really triggering for some people. Like it's gross and disgusting. I'm excited.
I mean, I think you'd be okay with it. I mean, are you okay with watching it being crucified?
Nothing phases me.
Are you okay with watching it being crucified and burnt alive? Because that's what happens.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. I worked in a newsroom.
Yeah,
that's sort of like I remember when I worked in the newsroom, they showed me Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah,
and they were like, "You're gonna freak out," and I'm like, "I'm not though. Like you don't. I've been on the internet before.
Yeah,
like I'm not a normie. I'm a sicko."
Onward to Druskenwald. Okay, so Druskenwald is the land of the world. One of those. Okay. Mm-hmm. We got comfort and safety. Content warnings. Okay. Graphic, gory violence. Mm-hmm. Cultural and religious conflict, endangerment of children, animals, grotesque body horror. Mm-hmm. Family trauma, allusions to suicide, and more. Okay. So this is the theme and topics, obviously. Yes. Regular check-ins. Mm-hmm.
Safety tools.
Safety tools. Yeah. Oh, they're hitting the ones that I recommend too. Like pause the scene. Fade to Black's a really good one. If something
Fade to Black's good.
Fade to Black's great, especially in like torture scenes. I'm like, okay, we can.
Yeah, we don't need to do this.
Or we can fade to black here. Yeah, great. Okay, let me get out of the introduction. One second. Oh no, next chapter.
Where'd next chapter go?
I'm pulling it up. Okay, there we go. Oh, look at this.
Oh, that's cool looking.
Whoa.
That is a good piece of art.
If that isn't a black goat in the woods, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that is. And look at all the. I mean, you could say those are the nipples for its 1,000 young.
Yep. Here are the old fears.
Oh, that's good.
Surrounded by looming walls of shrieking fog, and forever trapped between dusk and the witching hour, Druskenball is a realm from the stuff of nightmares. Equal parts dreamland and afterlife, it beckons forth departed souls to be reborn into strange new folk that call its sinister place home. Lurking within the shadows of the night that never stops are ancient and terrible things that even the Lord of the land forgot. Whether living or dead, heroic or humble, none are safe from the beasts that stalk the deepest woods and darkest hearts beneath the crooked moon. It is this ever-present crescent with the face of a grinning witch that makes Druskenwald a bit eerie, uncanny, and crooked. It is a vestige of the forgotten primordial origins of the realm, casting a wickedly gleeful look upon the land as if weaving a plot that only it knows, with an inevitably dire outcome. However, to nearly all who live throughout the domain's provinces, it has simply always loomed high overhead and provided much needed light in an endless night so filled with terrors.
Endless night, okay, all right.
Okay, here we have world map.
A map.
Or at least land map. This feels more like, I mean, it's got kind of a cartoony vibe, but
it is a cartoony vibe. Maybe it's sort of like Ravenlofty. Like it's not going to make sense because it doesn't really stitch together. It's
right. Yeah. Some places could be like endless, and some places could be very small. Okay, so we got Webwoods.
Cool. Spiders. All right.
Spideys. Moonsong Lake. The sanatorium, naturally. We got a sanatorium right here.
Ooh.
Wickermore Hollow, okay. The Witchwood, yes.
Yeah, the Witchwood I like. Yeah, that's cool.
Rowan's Ride, got a Stonehenge thing. Wickermore Village, okay. With a cemetery next to it. It's very cartoony, it's very cool.
Yeah. But hey, I've never seen a major D&D supplement go with this art style like this. That's really cool.
No, it's very cool. I very much enjoy it. Yeah.
Like it's nice to see something different.
Look at this cool, like, it's also kind of, I don't know what's the time zone we're in? I mean, there's trains, we have bowler hats, we have kind of Victorian era dresses, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Druskenwald, okay. Druskenwald is a realm that exists outside the lands of mortal and immaterial. Enveloped in a seemingly endless expanse of eldritch gloom, it exists in a paradoxical state of limbo between the warring furies of life and death. Beyond the misty borders of this domain may lie countless worlds and afterlives, but Druskenwald stands apart. A self-contained demiplane where the living, dead, and everything in between can coexist. There we have it. That's a statement of what this is. Great. Yeah. Within these I mean, that's like something you can. That's like here. Now it's a button you can place in your world.
Yep. Yeah. That works. So anywhere, any campaign you play in could take you to the Crooked Moon.
Yeah, you could put this in a snow globe and be like, here, your characters find this snow globe.
Yeah.
And now you're in Crooked Moon. The snow globe captures you.
That's pretty cool.
Within these combines a landmass.
Or a painting of the map that they see, and then the painting pulls them in.
Yes, I love
like
that.
In Dark Souls.
Yes, indeed. Within these combines is a landmass hewn in the shape of a crescent moon and a dark and boiling sea that stretches from its eastern coastline until it disappears into the haze. Looming mountain peaks to the north and south flank the lands between, forming an enormous continent-sized valley that nonsensically spans numerous environments in a relatively short distance and never experiences the turn of a season. The laws of nature and logic have no dominion over a place that is just as much nightmare and folktales as it is land to explore.
Cool.
It's just a straight embrace of a somewhat silly but also terrifying place.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. There are gonna be people that this is like utterly their jam.
Yeah, totally. Okay. The mystifying nature of Druskenwald is made most apparent by 13 major provinces that comprise it. As a Fulford child storybook featuring a broad collection of varying tales, each of these territories has a wholly distinct biome, topography, and climate. From forest to moor, desert to tundra, swamp to farmland, they all exist side by side like a collection of bizarre patches stitched together upon a grandmother's quilt. That's good. Despite the uniqueness of each Druskenwaldian patch, travel between provinces is not especially difficult, and borders can be crossed with a simple step.
That's cool.
Whoa!
That's
rad.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's really rad.
The sun never rises. I saw they said that. The sun never rises.
Instead, the land is bathed in an orange glow from the horizon for a few brief hours at the height of dusk, only to be swallowed by the encroaching darkness that dominates the rest of the night. Crooked Moon, an eternal crescent with the visage of a leering hag. So it's not just a representation. That it looks.
It's
like
literally
that.
What it looks like. Yeah.
The moon straight up looks like this. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty scary.
Yeah. Its light waxes and wanes with the cycle of each night as it moves through the sky with no discernible pattern, casting long, creeping shadows. At times it looms large in the sky, its baleful eye glowering over the land with malicious intent. At other times it shrinks to a small sliver nearly lost in the night sky, leaving the land blanketed in total darkness. The people of Druskenwald have adapted their peculiar 24-hour day cycle from the twilight hour through the witching hour, dividing their time according to the shifting light in their own ways. Some rise as soon as the golden glow of the hidden sun shows itself above the horizon and settle in before the most treacherous hours of night. Others only wake during true darkness. While they may not agree on how to honor Druskenwald's time, all peoples and provinces have aligned on the same naming conventions for the phases of each passing night.
That's cool.
Okay. This is really rad.
Yeah, this is really interesting.
Yeah. Whereas, like, Grim Hollow, we still need a primer, like a history primer. Grim Hollow is going to be like, it's like this. Grim Hollow is like folk horror and dark, like dark gothic horror, but also meets like. Do you remember the Kingdoms of Kalimdor?
Kalimar, yeah.
I kind of get that vibe from it as well, where they're
That's
like
fair.
fully realized nation states warring against each other with different cultures.
I think it's a real world. This is not a real world, but intentionally so. This is like a fairy world.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
It's so there's a series of books for young adults by Shannon McGuire. And it's about like people who get pulled into doorways. These kids who get pulled into fantasy worlds, and the series is about what happens when they get kicked out of the fantasy world at the end. There's a school for people who've been to fairy and then have lost fairy. And they go there and they hope they find another doorway. But the cool thing about that book series, the reason I'm talking about it, is it says every fairy world can be mapped on a chart with two axes. One axis is between logic and whimsy, and the other axis is between good and evil, or I'm sorry, virtue and vice. And every single fantasy world you can plot on this map in some way, like Narnia versus this versus that. And this is very much a fairy world that's high on whimsy.
Yes.
And that's cool, like, because there are lots of stories that are high on whimsy. There are lots of fairy tales that are high on whimsy. And for some people, this is going to be like the unreality is going to be the draw, I think.
Yeah.
And for me, Grim Hollow, the reality is the draw. The grim dark is the draw. Because it's a real world. It's a real world that's already fallen.
Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah.
I bet this would be really good for new players, especially groups that skew female.
Yeah.
Because I try when I run games now, I always try to include women just because it's more fun when you've got women and men playing together. Because when it's all guys, it can get sexist.
Yeah, totally can.
You make the guy jokes, and it's like, nah, bro. Like also, all of the women I've played with will try weird shit.
Yeah, yeah. What happens, and it kind of happens every single game, is that when you have a group of guys and you have one female player, the female player will come. There's a problem. The guys will be like arguing over what to do. The female player will pipe in with an idea, a really good one.
Yeah,
9 out of 10, and then the guys they'll stamp it out. And it's just something to be aware of as DM. Like, give that player space. Be like, wait, what was just said?
Say that again.
Just highlight that. Let me just stop and highlight that.
Yeah, that actually sounds. Tell me more.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more.
It's because there really are gender dynamics that come into play in these games, and like especially for you as a professional GM, but me, I just try to include people because I found like after I started playing with men and women, the games were better.
They're a whole lot better. Yeah,
like not absolutely. To be this woke whatever, but like it's fun when people have different ideas about how to proceed and then they collaborate. Like that's cool. Ooh, that's kind of interesting looking.
These are the 13 provinces of Druskenwald, and it looks like a crooked moon.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
really cool. Yeah, so you can just pick a province and be like, we're here. We're gonna go here. Or do a couple of them, and
new players that don't have a lot of baggage about what they expect from D&D would probably love something like this, where it's because this is more like the stories we hear, like the fantasy stories, like Peter Pan, stuff like that. That's a lot of people. A lot of people come into fantasy through that, not through Lord of the Rings. And
absolutely. That's
a cool picture.
So I have a couple players playing these guys, which are basically tree folk.
Okay.
That's happening a lot. Let's actually go down. We could talk about these provinces. God, I could do this. I could spend a lot of time. I did the DMG. I just went through the whole GMG. And the best part of the DMG, best part of the new DMG is the lore, is the actual the planescaping bit. It's just written really well. It's really fun, and this looks very good as well.
Cool.
This looks like it's written Zolrog. What is Zolrog?
Good names.
Oh yes, Zolrog is troll at Dinosaur Land. Yeah.
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 And Bubonia, I wonder if that's got plague stuff.
It's got.
Old Marsh, I bet there's a marsh.
Let's see Bubonia. Oh, yep, plague. There's a plague doctor right there.
Yep.
What Chernobos? Churn is usually like hell.
Like Chernobog. So it'll be Russian themed, I bet.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Fiery winds. Okay. Scorched wastelands, desert. Okay. Yeah. Great.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hell iron. Yep. Churn. Yeah. It's just there because there was a land in Pathfinder where there was a churn something, and it was also a demon land.
Okay.
So churn must be a sub.
A suffix?
Yeah.
No, prefix. It's a prefix because it comes first.
Syndromos. I mean, look at these pictures.
So
Syndromos
winter.
is like, yeah.
What about
winter?
What about so Naraket's going to be Egypt? I bet.
Yes. That's a.
Yep. Duh. Okay. But what about Enoch? Is Enoch going to be Eldritch?
Enoch looks like straight up. No, this is the harvest. This is your pumpkin land.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We got pumpkin land. We got for art and gloom. We have like swampy tree folk. Gloomy tree folk. Cool. Wood so ancient, all they know its name. Astromar. It's Astromar. Okay.
So here's my question about Crooked Moon. Is Crooked Moon primarily a campaign setting, or is it also an adventure path?
I don't think there's. I'll have to go to the index or to the table of contents to see what they're. Well, let me see. Let's see what we got here. So they go with the lands of Drossing Ball. We got the species. So Harvestborn is very strong, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Gnarlborn are the tree people. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
There's just really cool species lists in here. Very cool. Very thematic. Subclasses, new player options, backgrounds, new feats, dark bargains, which I think I have said no to those because they're basically just there's a couple of them that are like, okay, this is just straight up power. This is just straight up power.
Yeah.
New spells. So this is not an adventure path. No, this is just straight up player options. And
so you'd have to write your own adventures.
I think so.
This is for people looking for a campaign setting. I mean, that's what Grim Hollow is. You know, so Grim Hollow has released its tournament play stuff or convention play stuff. There are multiple adventures you can buy that take you from first through third for like, you know, it's sort of like the D&D encounters used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I picked them up. They're cool.
Well, let's just go through the pictures of what we got here. So we got Esmar, Bubonia, Chernobos, and Wardia.
Gotta be Britain.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Look at these woven badasses.
They're pretty cool.
Okay. Enoch we know is Pumpkinland Calero.
Oh, so Mexico.
This is
that's what's the Disney movies where they go there?
I think there's a couple now at this point. Oh, damn it. Trey, no. Damn it, I don't remember. I watched it with my brother.
It's the, you know.
Damn it, it's really good.
It is really good.
Egypt, cool.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. What was the question?
What's the D&D, not D&D, what's the Disney
movie where they go to the land of the dead with the...
Coco?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Come.
Okay. Nebuket. Interesting. Web tunnels. Okay. Spider like Silkborn. Okay. Spider people.
Into it.
Okay. Olmarsh. What the hell? Okay. Sea folk people.
So that's Shadow over Innsmouth.
Hark Leviathan. Hark Albatross. Betwixt black sea and red sky, we chase the compass with the filler's green. Always a league ahead of the ferryman. Below, bid the dread siren, bulging and bursting, the damnation eternal. May salt foam and bilge water forget the name of the drowned.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. Full sense. What?
So that's your Inquisition town.
Ah. Gargoyle peoples. Okay, if you like gargoyles. If you like the show Gargoyles. Which is apparently, I never watched it, but I heard that's a great cartoon.
I've been told it's a great cartoon.
Yes. Pico. Oh, Clownland.
Love it.
Okay.
Why did Blinsky?
Syndromos. Okay. Okay, so we got them all. Okay. This is rad. This is very, very cool. I'm gonna do some more. Yeah, I'll do some more research on this and see what we can pull from this. It's really rad. Yeah, a lot of players are pulling player options from it. So there's some strong stuff in here, but I haven't found anything that I'm like, maybe there's some spells in here. I don't remember. There's some spells in here that are broken that I'm like, okay, this is meant for something else. Sometimes the design element is like meant for a specific thing and it doesn't work with the rest, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's part of what we deal with. Okay, we'll stop here and we will pick it up. You can't Tricks and Trade next week, Neil.
I should be good for next week.
Oh, he's on 2-week hiatus. Okay, so we're all on 2-week hiatus. Okay, no worries. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll stop it here. Remember,
the next time we're all going to be free is going to be the 19th, by the way, 4/19.
Okay, we'll try to do that.
My wrestling pay-per-view is 4/12.
Okay, we'll pick it up, but we'll pick back up when we can. All right, guys. Peace out, and we'll see you when we can do this again. Peace out.
Awesome. Bye, guys.